Hi, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Today I wanted to talk about the subject matter of how do we get along with people and how should we respond to the way of when people just hurt us and we could be sensitive in certain areas and we can get triggered and we can get offended and hurt and so forth. That's just the human nature of people. It's just hard for all of us to get along. And that's the challenge. But as believers, God tells us to love one another. And wow, how challenging that could be, right? So I noticed that making all of my videos for the past year, one of the most popular and still uprising videos that astonishes me is when I made the video about living together with my manipulating in-laws. And that seems to be a pretty common scenario with anybody that has in-law issues or problems. And I wanted to share with you, I'm sure some of us have one time or another been just hurt, offended, and been brutally attacked or been bullied or all kinds of things that we get so wounded by, and it can really fester in, and it can just we can just resent and create a lot of bitterness within ourselves towards certain people, and that is very, very unhealthy for us. But I love what it says about living in peace with one another, as long as we can try to help it. It says in Romans 12:18, if it is possible, as far as it depends on you, live at peace with one another. Wow, that is quite a bit of challenge, but I believe that as Jesus, as he died on the cross, hanging there, he set the perfect example and role model to all of us, his children, how to go about that manner. And I hope this video may help you out a little bit in your life if you're having some problems or issues with a certain coworker, a certain family member, a friend, a neighbor, whoever it may be. We can't get away from people. They're just all around us. But how do we live in peace? So, it says in Luke, when Jesus hung on the cross, what did he say? Forgive them, Father, for they don't know what they are doing. These people who once loved Jesus, 5 days earlier on Palm Sunday, you are the king, and praised and adored him, turned around 5 days later, crucify him, kill him, the soldiers, the people, he was brutally beaten, he was ridiculed, he was taunted, they blamed him, they accused him. I mean, all these false accusations were upon Jesus. And he had such good intentions, his love for us. He died on the cross. He didn't want to die on the cross flesh-wise, but he wanted to fulfill God's good and pleasing will. And that is to die on the cross for his love, to set an example for his love to each and every one of us. So I noticed, did you know that the original Greek language for the word forgive them, Father, for they don't know what they're doing, is that word aphemi. I'm sorry, let me see, I wrote it down here. Aphiemi, Aphimi, aphiemi. And the definition of that word, it's a verb, is abandon. Another definition is neglect. But the most popular way people use that Greek language, aphiemi, is the word forgive. And when you think of the word abandon, neglect, or forgive, that's more of a sweeter, kinder word. Forgive them, for they don't know what they're doing, God. That encourages us, basically, bottom line, is when you've been hurt, to disengage with that person who has hurt you. Some of us may be very sensitive, or other people may be constantly brutally attacked mentally, physically, one way or another. It's just not fair, God. Why me? Why is this happening? People are offended in this world, in this culture, so many people. We have to be careful what we say. We don't want to offend people. I mean, wow, it can be a really touching, sensitive subject matter. But I encourage you today, just if you've been hurt or offended, disengage. Like divorce, leave that person who has offended you. Otherwise, wow, we're going to be hurt, resentful, bitter, angry, lashing back, That's our human nature. Our lower nature takes over. But I love Jesus' example. Dying on the cross, he was just brutally beaten, falsely accused and taunted, ridiculed, so forth. And by his example, he says, forgive them, Father, for they don't know what they do. Abandon them emotionally, disengage, divorce them, leave them. That's the original Greek language for the word forgive. So I encourage you today, take up that challenge. If you've been hurt, change your mindset, your whole perception of this matter, and that'll help to release you to just let go of the offense, to let go of the constant brutal, the hurt, and anything else that people may do to us. And sometimes they may not even realize that they're hurting us, but it's just us. We can be so sensitive in certain subject matters. And I wanted to share with you in 1 Corinthians 13, and that's talking all about the subject of love. And here it is. I want to read for you that some of you are familiar with. 1 Corinthians 13. If I can speak in the tongues of men or of angels, but do not have love, I am only a resounding gong or a clanging cymbal. If I have the gift of prophecy and can fathom all the mysteries and all the knowledge, and if I have a faith that can move mountains, but do not have love, I am nothing. If I can give all I possess to the poor and give over my body to hardships that I may boast, but do not have love, I am nothing. Wow. So imagine if you have all these achievements, that you can do all these things, faith, whatever, heal, but you don't have love, it's meaningless. It's all for nothing. Love is patient. Love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud. It does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices in the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. So love never fails. So the bottom line is, all of us, why are we living in this world? Are we just trying to get by? Are we trying to succeed? Are we trying to strive for life? Are we giving into the pressures of the society? Bottom line is, as believers, God wants us to love, to receive his love, and to give his love out freely to other people. So when we get hurt in any way, just remember, try to disengage with the people that offends us, and just to show them God's love, however that may look like. And in verse 13 of 1 Corinthians, it says, and now these three remain, faith, hope, and love. But the greatest of these is love. So wow, how powerful is love? It's more powerful and greater than faith and having hope. So that's what our life is all about. God wants us to represent his love, to be that light, to be that salt. And whenever we do, and whenever or when we will get hurt, because it's inevitable, we will in some way or another with another person somehow, just do what Jesus did. Forgive them, Father, for they don't know what they're doing. Or think of it as just disengage from them, abandon them, neglect them, divorce them, leave them, whatever it may be. That's the original Greek word. So if you can learn to disengage from that person, separate yourself, and see them through the eyes of God's love. Love is patient, love is kind. And to know that love is everything. And without love, everything that we do is meaningless. We exhaust ourselves for all this achievements, or trying to do this, do that, make friends, do well at work, all this busyness in life that we are just caught up in. But the greatest of these is love. So I hope you take away from this message today that love is that powerful, and that you may just dwell and embrace God's love for you, for he hugs you, he embraces you every day with his love. And I pray that his touch of his spirit and his love, when it's upon us, that it may just flow from us, and that we may share it, God's love, to others. For that's God's will for us in our life. and He wants us to live the abundant life. God bless you. Goodbye.